As you can see by my experience and the lack of hair, some time has passed since I've gone ahead and shot that video footage. I'd actually used that footage already for a previous video, but I wanted to reuse it to talk about Lucky Color 100, a new color emulsion that's coming shortly, and what Chinese film means for those that work professionally, but also those that are hobbyists. In late 2023, I was in Shanghai, and I came across a film store within the Shanghai Camera Exchange. If you were ever planning to go to Shanghai, I recommend going checking it out. It's insane. Whilst at the film store, which was just stocked beyond belief, I found this expired roll of Lucky Color 200. Now, I've previously shot Lucky Color film. I shot Lucky 100, and I've shot it at 25 ISO, due to it being 20 years old. And let's just say I got some interesting results. From my research, Lucky Film does not look to have been used very much professionally, even with inside China. Professional users are more likely to be the ones that have stored film in a fridge or frozen. It is very hard, therefore, to get hold of Lucky Film that has been kept well, which means you're basically never going to find it on eBay, frozen or fridged. It is what it is, and it does mean that this film stock, which doesn't seem to age well, you don't really get to get a good example of what it looked like. I was lucky with my roll of Lucky Color 200. It actually looks really good. In fact, it kind of reminds me of the consumer Fuji films. On Wikipedia, you'll find, founded in 1958, Lucky Film markets consumer and industrial chemicals and photosensitive products, including color, black and white, and X-ray film, magnetic audio and videotape, and magnetic tape for credit cards and other electronic devices. As someone who travels to China quite a bit, I think I have a fair understanding of what it's like to shoot film in China. And from speaking to a lot of professionals that used to shoot film back in the day, Lucky Film was not up to the standard of Kodak or Fuji. However, China's changed a lot in the last 30 years. And Lucky Film still actually exists, or the Lucky Corporation still actually exists. And now they're coming back, and they've had plenty of time to do R&D, develop their processes, and like a lot of Chinese manufacturing, have improved dramatically within the last 30 years. And in my experience with the Lucky Color 200, I actually think their film stock's actually not too bad. Sure, I had a really good roll, but it was fine enough quality for what it was, especially for an expired film, and I've shot other expired films from Kodak that haven't looked as good as that. So what do I really want to talk about really quickly? Basically, whilst film is still used professionally, it is definitely for us hobbyists. But that requires having spending money, and like you all, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. For us that are out there wanting just to be artists for ourselves, having a film stock that isn't too badly priced is what we're going to be looking after a while, because we just can't continue at the pace of cost that we are currently spending. I, for myself, think that once I've gone through all of my film stocks that I have, and I have a decent amount piled up, sorry to be that guy, but at least I'm going to make sure I use mine. Company like Lucky Color coming along and bringing in a cheaper film stock, and hopefully it should be at a decent quality, which I believe it will be, is going to change things dramatically for film photographers, but it's also something that's needed to keep film photography alive. Kodak has kept film photography alive. Kodak is film photography. Always has been, hopefully always will be, but if Kodak disappears, film photography as we know it disappears. So we need a second player in the market, and as Fujifilm have basically dropped out, that is what Kodak will provide for us. And why it's super important that even if this product isn't perfect, just like Harman Phoenix, that we do go out and support it, because if China's going to be a major producer of film, then we need to support that. They need to know that it's worth investing in, because they can do it at a more affordable price. And that will pay off for us if we invest in this with what we spend, because hopefully we'll be able to get cheap color film. And from my experience, China is an easy market to go ahead and buy from. And as they've entered into the world market a lot more, does mean that we're going to be able to easily get hold of the film, more so than what we sometimes get from other manufacturers.
Love the fact that cat is in there. We'll wait till Grandma walks past behind us.
On top or like?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, wait till Grandma walks on. Okay, and sweet.
Stop.